Hi! Oh, this under school, and I thought, you know what? Let me make this topic because it was brought up and I thought it was quite a unique subject. I've kind of not really spoke about this, but I haven't. Not like this, like I'm going to, so I'm going to talk about it. I hope you guys are well and amazing and beautiful as always. I suppose that, yeah. Woo! You know when it's here, you want to cough, but it won't come out. I hate that. It's just like when you want to sneeze and you get ready to sneeze and it doesn't come out. Oh my God, that is like the most annoying thing in the world when that happens to me. Like I probably get ready, I'm like, and then it just, vamos, it just goes away. If that means goes away, but vamos, it sounds like it means goes away. But anyway, so how did I get so comfortable in my sexuality? What a topic. I was already comfortable. I feel like I've always been comfortable with my sexuality before I even knew I was comfortable with my sexuality, if that makes sense. So every time I wanted validation and approval, it was because of just outside insecurities. So like the physical more, as I didn't feel as, you know, hot as the friends I had, or I didn't feel like I was attractive or good looking. Just in general, I just didn't. And every time I encountered someone, it kind of just nicked and picked at my appearance. So I was never really confident in how I looked. But my sexuality in general, I feel like I've always been confident about who I've been. How do I describe this? So when I came out to myself, because that's what I always call it, is I always say coming out to myself. That is when I confronted the feelings that I was having. I didn't really know too much, but I made it a priority for myself to go into the new year that was happening at the time. And I was like, this year I'm gonna start really experiencing this side of myself. I'm gonna go on dates with men, and yeah, I just had this big fairy tale, but I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to explore that side. I wanted to explore these feelings because I couldn't relate to being a woman, but I knew I had strong feelings for a man, but I just never knew how to go about it. So I was like, this is the year that I'm going to go out dating. I'm going to start, you know, putting myself out there and just seeing what happens, like with this new me. And I felt like when I did that, I already accepted who I was at that point. So I never felt like I needed validation from other people to identify with who I am. And most, you know, in general, to like just accept me for who I am. Because I feel like when you have the conversation and you're coming out to your parents and stuff, I feel like you're kind of you want their approval, you know, you want their acceptance. And I always felt like coming out was like that. So I never felt like I needed to do that, because I felt like I accepted who I was from the beginning. So no one could ever, you could attack anything else about me. I would take it really badly at the time, but you could never attack. Once I accepted myself as being gay, I didn't really care about what anyone else had to say or whatever. You know, if you thought, if you didn't, if you liked it, if you didn't, I didn't really care. I didn't feel like I needed to discuss it. It just was I just didn't care. Like no one could ever make me feel anyhow. So I never felt like I needed to ever have that conversation with people, like my mom and my dad, and be like, Mom, Dad, I'm gay. I feel like some people need it for themselves, but I particularly didn't feel like I needed it. And I don't know how I became so confident with it. I think it's just because it's just who I was, and I finally felt like I was in a place that I belonged. You know, despite all the negatives and the racketus, I felt like me identifying with myself, who I was as a homosexual man, I felt like I was at home. Like, when I started dating, despite all the heartbreaks and all the blah, blah, I never ever regretted or wished that I wasn't gay. I just took it as heartbreaking. It's just my life, innit? But like, it's who I am. So I've just grown more confident within it because I just live within my truth. And I just enjoy myself for myself, you know? But everything that came along with that were just outside insecurities, to be honest. And fundamentals of being a product of my environment, and the lack of role models that I had, like in my dad, and wanting and chasing love, and when it was really desperation and wanting attention, seeking validation, just all of that never derived from my sexuality. No. The only thing that this community has made me do is made me feel ashamed to say, like, if you're a bottom, they like emasculate you and just make you feel like, you know, you're bottom, you're this, you're that. Or, you know, if I said I have tops, no, I can't imagine that. No. If I happen to dress in tracksuit bottoms, oh my God, you're Trey. So they're always throwing like labels left, right and center. So I can understand why a lot of people don't really identify with many stuff, because it's like some things are just so unnecessary, to be frankly honest with you. But that's the only thing that I feel like I've struggled with, is admitting who I am and feeling like being in this community has made me say, okay, I am verse, just to not feel the sheer shame of saying it like you're bottom. But I don't need to say it anymore, because I know what I like, I know how I want it. I mean, I have I'm someone that I would have an urge now and again to top, but I can live my life without topping. Yeah, let's say that. So therefore I know that I'm bottom. And you know, it is what it is. But I feel like you just need to own your truth, you know. And I think that's why I get so frustrated with a lot of DL men that I encounter in my life, because there isn't really any point in being DL, especially like when you're an adult. You know, I spoke to my friend, right? And he's from America, like he's from Atlanta. You guys are going to see him on my channel very soon. And when I told him, like, we was having this conversation, I was like, the biggest issue with the black gay community, to be honest, is DL men, because DL men rule our community. That's why it seems like it's so small, but it's not, if you get what I mean. Whatever. Then this topic in my last video, if you guys watch it, last two, I think, one before the other, and he was like, what, you guys still have DL? Is that even a thing? I was like, are you really being serious right now? He goes, is that even a thing? Oh my God, that's so 2000s. So I was like, I couldn't stop laughing. It was so weird that someone could not relate that there's actually DL people. Like, yes, babe, they're still around. He goes, damn, that is so unfortunate. They should come out. It's nice out here in the sunshine. He goes, damn, he never knew that there was still DL, the whole DL term even existed. He says that he would watch videos and he would see people talk about it, but he never actually knew. Oh, it's a bird. I thought my AirPods were playing. He never actually knew that there are still DL men. I'm just like, it's so crazy, because it's like 2021 and we're still going through all of this nonsense. I mean, everyone has different circumstances, but once you own who you are and you live in your truth, what can anyone take away from you, you know? It's like people are either going to accept you or not. And I think that's the thing, because I never needed acceptance from my parents. I just lived. It just gets to a point, because like, how much time are you going to keep doing stuff for people's approval, when at the end of the day, this is like my life that I have to live for myself. I have to make mistakes for myself. I have to create this own journey for myself, because then my life becomes about you. You're here living your life. When you're married, you have other kids. What am I still needing your approval for? You know? And I can't be like that, because I know a lot of people that have been like that and they're not happy. So, it's just never been a thing. I've always done the opposite of what my dad wanted me to do anyway. So it was very easy to just live my flipping life. If this pandemic doesn't teach anyone anything, at least let it teach you how valuable your life is, and how valuable it is to live your life for yourself, and how much things that you've taken for granted, how much things that you never took advantage of, how much more things that you should be doing, how much more times that you should have been just free and not been so constructed and structured and overthought about things that could have just provided just such a simple experience of been that, done that, that was nice. But because you overthought so much, that experience got lost. That time got lost. You know, you can never ever take back time. So if you don't start living for yourself now, then you're just gonna be living a life of misery, and you're never ever gonna ever be fulfilled. You're just gonna be doing things just because. And that's when you find a lot of people getting married just because they want to make their parents happy, being in relationships with people they don't want to be in just because they're making it. And it's like, at the end of the day, your parents might be a bit disappointed now and again, but that's what they're going to be. But it's your life to live. If you keep doing what everyone says, you can't expect anything different. And I don't do that. So I feel like that's how I've always became so comfortable in my being. Like, the fundamental and the foundation of me has always been validated by myself. It's just everything else that was influenced. That was mainly just, you know, outside, not really internal. But the basis of me, who I am, my sexuality, am I proud of myself? Do I accept myself? I've always accepted how I am and who I am, you know? But it's just, there's no really no buts. I don't know if this video even makes sense, but you know, I did it anyway because it was just a really interesting discussion. And I notice a lot of people do things because of a lot of people around them. And that's why a lot of times they're not out. And I think people portray this thing like, oh, just because you're out, you have to start going to pride, you have to start flying flag. No, it's being comfortable within you, who you are, and being proud enough to say, this is who I am, you know? Do you think that I tell every single person I'm gay all the time? No. Oh my God. No, I don't. If they ask, which they don't ask, if they want to assume, let them assume. Believe it or not, there's a lot of people that still assume that I'm straight, which I find it hilarious. And I let them keep on assuming, especially those uncles at work. So, yeah, when am I going to meet your wife? When are you going to get? So what kind of women do you like? I'm like, I just laugh. I'm like, if you ask me directly, I'll tell you. But I'm not going to all the time. No, I'm blah, blah. I'm not. Why do I need? I feel like me doing, for what? Think what you want to think. Until you ask me straight up, I'm never going to tell you. That's that. Or come across my social media or watch a video. You gladly know. But you don't owe anyone anything. So when you come out, it doesn't necessarily have to be an outing party. It's just you acknowledging, accepting, and being comfortable in who you are. You know, a lot of people don't like to relate to a lot of, to even saying gay, because they see perceptions of people that are gay and they're like, oh, I'm not like that, so I must not be. That, you can't compare yourself to how someone else is living their life. People are individuals and they're allowed to express, live how they choose to. And secondly, you can never judge someone that is actually out where you're still not. So if you're not comfortable with yourself, shut up your mouth before you start degrading us and making us seem like, if you feel like there's not enough representatives of, well, not every gay should be like this or be like that, why don't you come out and show people otherwise? Unless you're going to do that, shut up your mouth. Because I always hear judgment as well. So much judgment is always from people that want to dictate how people are. Then come out then and show everyone a different perspective. Show everyone. Go on. I said it right, perspective. Yeah, because someone said I was saying it wrong the other day, and I was like, was I? Whatever. I know what I was meaning. But yeah, just be proud of who you are. Live in your truth. And for one, live this life for yourself. You know? You've got to die at the end of it. And when you die, you're going to die alone. You know? And you don't want to die with your shoulda, woulda, couldas. You know, and I, at least the foundations of me are there, you know? So, clear your foundations and start living in your truth. And it might be rocky at first, but it does get better. And it will only get better because you learn to accept you. You just have to live a life without feeling like you need other people's approval. A lot of people always need stuff for approval. I always needed that validation, but I needed validation for being attractive, for being worthy. I never needed anyone to validate me for me being homosexual. That is a completely different thing. Oh, I don't care what you like. This is what I like, and this is what I am, and this is who I am. If you don't like it, I don't care, frankly. Up yours, you cunt. But everything else I needed a validation for, yes. I can admit that. I did. But I don't anymore. And you won't soon, so I hope this video helps somebody. Till then, I'll see you in the next video, guys. Love you lot. Stay blessed and see you soon. Oh, it's so cringe, isn't it? I don't know why I'm waving. Do you actually wave when I wave? Oh my god, if you guys do, I would laugh. Not like I would see it, but